Would you like to work closer to home, save money on gas, and be rewarded for your hard work and attendance? Then Bellisio Foods is looking for you. That's right, Bellisio Foods is now hiring for multiple positions and shifts with great employee benefits, an on-site health clinic, competitive wages, and advancement opportunities. Bellisio Foods is a company that truly values their employees. Apply online at BellisioFoods.com/careers.
The Jackson County Fair Board, in conjunction with Total Media, proudly present Neil McCoy. Neil McCoy. Saturday, July 15th at the Jackson County Fair. VIP track access seats now available for only $30, which includes admission to the fair. Get tickets now at JacksonCooHFair.com or at the Total Media Studios in Jackson.
Happy Friday, everyone, and welcome to the morning show right here on Main Street TV, where we have a lot going on this morning. Of course, kicking off the Jackson County Fair, and we're going to be talking a little bit about that here in a moment. We're going to have some news later on, but first, before we get to that, we have our friends from the ADAMH Board back, right?
Well, ADAMH and Jackson County Spark.
Yeah, so I am on the executive board of Jackson County Spark.
Okay, very cool. Very cool. And you guys are kind of collaborating on a really cool thing coming up at the fair that we're going to tell everybody about. And that's why these girls are here today. But first off, could you introduce yourselves in case people don't know?
Absolutely. So my name is Ashley Featheroff. The position that I hold with Jackson County Spark right now is the secretary. But I wear a lot of hats. And then I also might be recognized. I work at Hopewell Health Centers here in Jackson County as well.
Okay.
And I'm Shannon Dalton. I'm the community programming coordinator for the Gallia-Jackson-Meigs Alcohol, Drug Addiction, Mental Health Board. And we are a proud partner and member of Jackson County Spark.
Yeah, and just if you could refresh people about Spark and kind of explain what that is, that would be great.
Yeah, so Jackson County Spark, SPARC, stands for the Substance Abuse and Addiction Resource Council. We are here to link community partners and community members to addiction resources, mental health resources.
Okay.
Give them the availability to be able to access those things easily, because sometimes people don't know how or don't know who to reach out to. So we are kind of a all-together thing where they can just even shoot us an email if they're worried about privacy, and we can link them with resources.
Yeah, I think that's wonderful. And, it's a place to turn because there's so many people out there struggling and they don't know where to start or turn. So here you are. Now, do you have office here in Jackson then, or?
We do not.
Okay.
No.
So, I would like to say that Jackson County Spark, it's a coalition, a community coalition. So coalitions, they come and they rally around a cause or an issue, and it's community-led, community-driven. So we have partners across agencies. We've got it's what they like to call 12 sectors. So we have law enforcement, we have civic groups, we've got churches, regular community members, businesses. They're all part of this, and it's open for anyone to actually come and be a part of Jackson County Spark.
Great.
And actually, I know that one of our big reaches is trying to actually get to Wellston and Oak Hill. We have a lot of people that live and work in Jackson itself, but we don't just serve Jackson City. We serve all of Jackson County. So, we try to do outreach, and we know that our communities are having events. So we have those resources and information for all across Jackson County.
Yeah, I think that's wonderful. And this is what we were talking about with Butch Cooper a day or two ago with they're doing this really cool revival situation at the high school on Saturday night. And he was just, talking about how, community is not just Jackson or Wellston or whatever. Like we Appalachians down here are a community, and we need to all stick together. It's not Oak Hill or Jackson or Benton County or whatever. We are all one, and we should be, and support each other and lift each other up, because that's what makes us special down here. Is
Yes, it is.
people are kind and people are helpful and willing
Yes.
to help. So that's just my 2 cents.
And I can say, the willing to help and make things possible is very much true of this region. The event that we're putting on, Rock This Life, at the Jackson County Fair, took
cool.
a lot of people coming to the table, not only just for the planning of it, but to help pay for a lot of the things that we've got going on, and we're all the details. So like having things like the tent, things having, the materials that we're passing out.
Wonder Woman
and Batman.
I mean,
and the Batmobile. But we had a lot of sponsors that, made this all possible for us.
And it's because it's for good.
Yes.
And people want to do good.
Yes, we've had a lot of community partners that are very excited to be involved. And if they're not able to be involved physically, to be involved, whether monetarily or help us get the word out or whatever the case may be.
Love that.
We've not had any member of the community or sector of the community say absolutely not.
No,
So,
I don't believe in helping people.
Yeah, right.
What?
I've never heard that. So
Yeah, thank goodness. So this event is really, really cool. And when the Fair Queens were here yesterday, and you mentioned this, they kind of touched on this event. But I thought it was really interesting because I just asked them the question. I said, is there a problem with mental health and with, they specifically mentioned vaping and things like that. And I was so, a little bit taken back by their, shall we say, spirited response of absolutely. Like it's like they were so just like, yes.
you would absolutely be surprised of the
I was
prevalence in our schools. And you would think, so the beginning of our event from 1 to 4 p.m. is aimed at kids 12 and under. And you would think that things like suicide prevention or substance use prevention might not be necessary at those age
Correct.
rates. It absolutely is. And it's becoming even more so as time goes on.
You think back about, or I think back about my childhood and, obviously you have things to deal with and whatever as a kid, but kids should just be doing kid things like playing with Barbies and puppies and all of that and not have worries and stress and all of that. So, it's surprising to me, I guess, that, you don't want to put your head in the sand, but that it's a thing.
Yeah. And that's a big part of what we do and the reason that we do why we do what we do, because a lot of especially young children that are experiencing things like mental health or substance use issues, if they've never heard anything about it, they might think that they're different, they're weird, they're the only ones that have ever had that
a big
happen.
thing. Yeah.
And then that doesn't give them the ability to reach out for help. They don't feel like they can. So
yeah, that they're out on a limb by themselves. All right, well, let's talk about Rock This Life that will be held on the 17th, which is a few days from now. It's a Monday, right?
Yes.
Monday.
This coming Monday at the Jackson County Fair, and you guys have worked tirelessly to put this event together. So thank you, but it's going to be so cool. So let's talk about some of the events. I mean, you had me at Wonder Woman, so.
Well, I have to, and working tirelessly. I mean, last year, we had kicked off this, and we didn't have a theme, but it was just Prevention Day. We had Batman who came out, and it was a very small program. We decided that we wanted to do more and make a bigger reach,
blow this thing
and
up.
We had a very, very excited partner and voice, Angie Eisenagel, at the Jackson County Fair Board. She was like, yes, we are going to do this. Because she had this sky was the limit last year. It was like, this is our first year. Can we just get this started? But this year we got the grandstand.
That's some big stuff. Yeah.
We got the grandstand the whole day. So everything that we have that's going to be going on is going to be in the grandstand area.
Love that.
So, we're gonna have the event kicking off, but we are gonna be doing a registration just because we're we're trying to keep track of who else coming in, how many. So we have numbers to be able to
Not like
report
in a
on.
creepy way.
It's not.
Just
It's, no, it's not. And so
like
for
in a
us,
good way.
yeah, it's not like we're going to be getting names or details, but it's going to help give us identifying factors to know how to better plan for next year. And also, for some of our sponsors, it's going to give them some information like how many people we brought from outside of Jackson County.
Oh,
That's going to be some good information as well. So we have got a huge lineup for the whole day, and we're going to actually be starting it with our awesome and probably rather famous to the area, Rockin' Reggie.
Rockin' Reggie. He's everywhere. We love that.
He's everywhere, and he's our big drug prevention DJ. So we're kicking off with games and dancing, and we're going to have Elroy the Elk.
What?
Elroy the Elk from the Elks Lodge. He's coming out because they have a drug prevention program.
That's so good.
And that's one of the things that we found out in our growing partnership with our community members, that they had this and they were having problems reaching people. I was like, well, come be part of this. So it's that natural, organic, building of resources and strengthening our community.
Yeah.
But like 2:00, Batman's going to be Batman and Wonder Woman are going to be arriving in the Batmobile.
And they will be escorted in by Sheriff Ted Frazier because he loves Batman.
Yes.
Yes. And of course we've got, just like we had last year, we've got some grand prize drawings. We've got some last year it was just one grand prize. We got 2 this year.
Oh my goodness.
So we have got, we're going to be doing a drawing just before 4:00. We're going to have, it's going to be a family membership to COSI plus a $25 gas card to, because we know that gas also, is costing quite a bit. So a little bit of assist, but it's a 1-year family membership. And let me tell you,
that's awesome. I love COSI.
They got dinosaurs, but right now they got King Tut.
What?
Yeah,
Really?
they got a King Tut exhibit. I'm not sure how much longer it's running, but
oh my gosh,
they've got it's like the first time King Tut's been back in the U.S. for a while. So
that is insane.
Yeah, I've learned something today.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. So yeah, if you haven't gotten to go to COSI,
I'm just
I
gonna
haven't
tell
gone
you
either.
It is so cool, and I went and saw the Titanic exhibit there, like on a lark. Like we were in Columbus and I saw a commercial and I'm like, honey, we are going. And it was like one of the coolest things I've ever seen in my life. And COSI is just such a cool, fun place for kids and adults.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes.
I actually saw that they have like over 21 times, sometimes.
Yeah,
so
I was going to say we had, I worked a huge beer festival there for the brewery. I mean, we did a big, huge beer festival there one evening last year. So really cool.
So it can be enjoyed by the whole family.
They call it, like COSI after hours or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So Batman and Wonder Woman. If you all don't know Batman, he is awesome and he's amazing. And actually, so he's our West Virginia Batman.
Yes.
And I don't know if you know, but he's gone several times to the Ukraine to go and speak and see the kids out there in the Ukraine.
Now that's brave.
Yeah.
Good for him.
He goes out and he does a lot of work trying to uplift the communities out there. He actually recently got recognized by the governor of West Virginia. And
that's so cool.
It was just absolutely amazing. He has a lot to speak on. I'm not going to give it away, but he's definitely worth sitting and listening to.
He's very generous.
He is very generous. Yeah. He's very generous. And that's just the first 4 hours of our day. So, and then of course, we shift into what we've called our teen focus time. At 4:00, we have got Miss Teen Ohio USA, Carolina Sola. She is going to be talking to her. I ran into her at an event and I talked to her because she lives in Gallipolis.
Okay.
And so I said, hey, will you come and speak?
That's so cool.
Because she's going to actually speak on her experiences with mental health and what she did and how she struggled.
Okay.
So she's, as a peer-to-peer, that kind of conversation really is impactful with our teens.
As she stands there as Miss Teen Ohio. I mean, that's pretty cool stuff.
Yeah.
Showing that even if you're struggling with something like mental health, you can still succeed.
For sure.
Yes.
Like, yeah, that's awesome.
And then, of course, we've got the health department. We're going to have, of course, throughout the day, we're going to be highlighting different resources and campaigns that parents and teens or youth can actually go to get information. But we'll have the health department speaking a little bit on vaping. Now, it's not going to be the day's not going to be just about information.
You're not getting preached at.
You're not going to get
you're not
preached at.
getting, for lack of better words, like talked to or whatever.
Yeah. It's really, we're just going to be giving information saying this is what's out there. This is what's available. This is, something that we all need to be aware of. But we're going to shake things up. We're going to have minute to win it games.
Nice.
Yep. Lots of prizes to give away.
Lots of prizes to give away throughout the day. At 4:30, we've got Sonic Rhythm Academy.
Yay!
We're so excited.
Kids are awesome.
Those kids are awesome. And it was really cool last night because we were at the homegrown happy hour, and Corduroy Brown had actually given one of his guitars to one of the girls that's in the Sonic Rhythm Academy because she had need of one. And so he gave her one. It was just so cool. So we're going to actually get to see her rocking that guitar.
Love that. I love how this is all coming together.
It is. It absolutely is. But we are going to talk about, throughout the day, we're going to talk about underage drinking. We're going to talk about vaping, mental health, and suicide prevention. So we'll, highlight some of those. And then we'll have our last grand prize drawing, which is, again, it's not to the wilds in the zoo, but it is to the zoo, a family membership pass to the zoo, win a gas card.
What?
So we've got 2 one-year memberships going out as prizes. And then at 6 o'clock, that's when things are really going to rock out. Really rock out. We've got Matt Cesano, Magdalene Rose, and Seventh Day Slumber all coming out to perform from 6 to 10. And it is a free all ages concert. You don't have to pay extra. That was part of what we took care of and what we arranged. We wanted to have good uplifting music that, was going to capture their attention. They're going to actually talk about their struggles and things that they've overcome. So it all will wrap around and tie together with what this whole concept is.
I think what you guys are doing is so amazing. And there's such a need here in the area, whether you think so or not, there is. And we don't want one kid to feel alone or struggle alone or whatever. That's not okay.
Yeah,
absolutely.
This is a great event.
And the information that we have is not going to be just for kids. It's going to be for adults too. Like we're going to even talk about the Talk They Hear You campaign, which we have been, getting that information out and
for sure.
Letting parents know that they have resources to have those conversations with their kids about underage drinking, about substance use. So we're just maintaining what we started last year, and
this is great.
And growing on it.
Now let me. I may be off my rocker here, but isn't Monday Kids Day at the fair? So kids are getting in for
kids
free.
Under 12 will get in for free. And then we actually had 500 passes sponsored by CareSource that we distributed to community partners to give. And then we had another 150 passes sponsored by the J. Floyd Dixon Foundation, correct?
Yes.
That were also distributed. Wow. I think we have a handful of them left.
I think I have 3 left.
Out of 650.
So these are passes to get in on Monday of the fair.
Yes, Monday only for anyone over the age of 12 that doesn't already get in for free.
Oh, that is amazing.
Yeah.
So chase these girls down. I want one of the 3.
Well, I know that we had some that were given away on the radio, I believe. So I'm hoping that you all still have you went through all those. I'll be glad to say if these are just the last 3, but I mean, that's 650 people that are getting into, it's not just a coupon. This was a paid for admission.
Yes. And Monday of the fair, I mean, the rides will be up, I think starting at 4 or 5, something like that. I mean, we're talking about for free.
Yeah.
And you get to, this is cool stuff.
Yeah.
Really cool stuff.
Yeah.
So
And
you guys were just talking about Corduroy Brown giving out the guitar.
Uh-huh.
I was actually there, and I recorded it happen, but it wasn't the best shot. But I managed to get a photo. So this
Awesome! It was so cool to see.
It was
she
so
was
cool.
so excited, and she had no idea that she was getting it.
Oh.
And of course, we had. Let me just say, it was just amazing. We had absolutely no idea about Corduroy. We didn't know about his music. We didn't know about anything, and it was just amazing how it all fit in together.
Fell
because
together.
we were the sponsors for last night, and he had a lot of uplifting music. He was actually, he spoke about mental health and how his struggles and everything like that.
It was it was just meant to be.
Absolutely.
Like it was,
And
That's so
we had
cool.
not met. I mean, I have been through one of our members, communicating with oh my gosh, Sonic Rhythm Academy.
Uh-huh.
So we didn't even have faces.
Oh, okay.
So we were just, it was like, wow, this is all full. It really was. It was awesome full circle moment.
That's so good. And you can actually get to see that young lady play that guitar.
Yes.
Yep,
And
they'll
that
be
is
on at
really good.
4:30 at the fair on Monday. They'll be playing from 4:30 to 5.
Yeah. They have a full half hour.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. Love it. Love it. This is so good. Well, my goodness, you guys have, I don't know how you've done all of this, but I'm just excited about Wonder Woman. So I'm just saying.
Whatever
So
brings
Shannon
you
and
there.
so we were talking off the air. Did you or did you not, all of our viewers, wear underoos? And if you did, I guess a guy could have too, boy. Did you have Wonder Woman underoos? Because we did.
These are the things we need to know.
I actually
We
think I had
need to know.
Batgirl too.
You had Batgirl too?
I think I had just about
Just
all of them.
the whole
Yeah.
collection.
I think I missed out. I just had the Wonder Woman. Dylan, do you know what underoos are?
underwear.
Context clues, I think.
Yeah.
So
That
it
was
was
a good guess.
it was themed underwear and a top.
It was
so you looked like you had that superhero costume.
Yeah, like you had a superhero costume on, but that doubled as like underwear under your clothes. So you were like, I'm Wonder Woman, but I have clothes on top of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But secretly, deep down, I know I'm Wonder Woman.
Yes.
Yes. All of that.
That's the confidence I need on a daily basis, I
Right?
think. Yeah.
So we were just wondering if they make adult ones and if they sell them on Amazon. See if you can find adult underoos, Dylan, while we're sitting here talking.
But one more thing.
Yes.
Like I said, I managed to grab a bit of a video.
Oh, awesome.
So this is just a little bit of an overlay of.
Aw. I think she was a bit excited.
Look how excited I know.
Yeah, it was just so awesome to
And
see
he-
yesterday.
Megan and Mel. So good.
He was such a great artist. I talked to him for a while after the show, and
Yeah.
he had a lot of really great things to say. And we talked with him about possibly partnering with him in the future for
That would
whatever
be
it
great.
is we do next.
Also,
So
they do make adult underoos.
Oh.
Okay, well, can you put a picture up? Wait, where did you find them?
Me undies.
me undies.
All right, we need to see them, Dylan.
Oh.
Okay. This is what happens when James leaves. We make the intern do all kind of crazy stuff. No, I think that, man, this is just such a good event. And this will all be this Monday at the fair. You can, kids get in for free under 12, or if you can find one of these passes, that's amazing too.
And I don't think that we mentioned, but throughout the entire day, we have, I think, over 30 community partners setting up vendor spots, helping as volunteers.
Oh.
They'll have resources available. So if anybody who maybe didn't know how or wasn't able to reach out that needs help, there will
Love
be
that.
a lot of people there that they can talk to.
Oh yeah, the Ohio National Guard is going to be there with their inflatable
Yes.
obstacle course.
Big inflatable obstacle
Okay,
course.
that is awesome.
Yeah, I
so fun.
and I think Sheriff Frazier's got. I think he was talking about possibly getting canines out, and
That would be cool.
I'm telling you, you don't want to miss this. And honestly, it's really cool to be there the whole day. I know it's a long day, but
Yeah.
there's going to be just so much going on. It's going to be a fun day. We've got, like we said, a lot of community partners that are going to have information, that are going to have resources. Parks Edge, you want to talk about that?
Yeah, Parks Edge is going to sponsor free lunch or food for the kids for the first half of the day.
Oh, well, heck.
They did the same for us at our first year last year when we did this for the half day. But the kids will each get a meal ticket, and they will have, I'm not sure exactly what they're serving. Last year it was hot dogs and chips and water and juice.
Cool.
And so the kids will have the opportunity to eat for free, and that was all done on behalf of Parks Edge.
That's great.
And that is because we know that at a lot of times, sometimes our kids, they get dropped off and they don't always have money, or they spend it all on the rides and games, and they're irresponsible.
If you're a kid, what are you going to spend it on, right?
Right.
Exactly.
So we wanted to make sure that there was going to be there. I know Holzer's going to have their RV out, and I think they're going to have popsicles and water and.
Yeah, we're going to try to keep water as stocked as we can for the volunteers or anybody that needs it, because it's
going to be hot.
It's going to be hot.
It's always
yes.
hot.
I think it's going to be in the upper 80s.
Heck yeah, let's bring it on. It's the fair, man.
Yep. So.
Well, very good. Did you find it? Did you get the picture? I'm curious.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't really want to put
It's not perverted, is it?
I don't think so. No.
Okay.
It's just a weird photo.
Weird photo. Well,
Oh, there it is.
There it is. Okay. Oh, Dylan. The things we make our intern do. Adult underoos. Oh!
I love it.
So you go home at night and the husband's wearing that. Are you disturbed or like excited about it?
A little bit of both.
Thanks, Dylan.
Thank you, Dylan.
Superman. Oh my gosh, you girls. All right. Well, is there anything else you wanted to let our viewers know about while you're here?
Well,
Not that I can think of. There's so much, but I think that we've covered all of it.
We're just excited, and we hope that everybody comes out Monday,
Yeah.
to participate.
and if you don't want to be there for the Kids' Day, come out for the concert. These artists are amazing. Actually, Ben was talking about them last night. He loves Seventh Day Slumber and how they are. Matt Cesano is amazing, and if you get to come early, you might actually get to talk and spend time, because I know a lot of them like to
With
talk.
the band.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
with the band. Yeah, they don't like to keep themselves, separated or anything like that.
And I see a really cool teal mohawk. So
So, I mean, it's definitely going to be a good time.
Yeah.
Regardless.
anybody that can get their hair to do that, I'm impressed.
Absolutely.
And who's your favorite that you're looking
Magdalene Rose. I am so excited to see Magdalene Rose. I had actually never heard her music until we booked them for this event, but I looked them up, of course. And she's a very edgy, hardcore, but she has a positive message. So
Love
it's a little
that.
bit of both worlds, and that's right up my alley. So I'm
Very
very
good.
excited.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, girls, we'll let you get out of here for the day because you have a lot to be planning.
We still have stuff to finish.
Please get some rest this
Absolutely.
weekend so that you're fresh on Monday.
Unfortunately, my daughter's second birthday party is tomorrow.
Oh,
So little
Yeah,
to
no rest for
me,
that.
but
No.
it's worth it.
Very good. Well, thank you so much for coming in, and we'll
Thank
see you
you.
soon. And everybody come out Monday and see the event and participate because it's going to be awesome.
Awesome. Thank you for having us.
Thank you. All right, Dylan, let's hear from our friends at the Vinton County National Bank, and then we'll be right back.
At Vinton County National Bank, we believe in supporting the areas where we live and work. Now, we'd like to honor those who also serve our communities. Our new Community Champions account is especially for first responders, veterans, active military, and anyone employed in the fields of healthcare or education. This account offers rewards, discounts, and other benefits to those who give so much to others. Vinton County National Bank, rewarding those who serve.
All right, and looking back at your weekend weather forecast, I know that many of you are wondering about the weather for the Jackson County Fair, and of course, harness racing tonight. Neil McCoy and all of Sembra Jordan tomorrow at the fair. So it is today looking very, very warm and not a lot of rain in the forecast, with highs around 88 degrees, lows dipping down to about 67. So not very, very cool overnight. Now tomorrow, we're just going to say it's not going to rain on our parade. We hope not, but it is going to be very, very hot with highs of 86. That stupid pesky 80% chance of rain is in the forecast. Hopefully it moves out before all of the great festivities tomorrow at the fair. Then looking on to Sunday, as the animals start arriving and all of that stuff, some partly cloudy skies, highs of 87 degrees. And then Monday, about the same, mid-80s, looks like through Wednesday. And that's just a little chance of rain every day, but that's okay, because we actually could use some rain. And it's fair week, and it's either 1,000 degrees and or rain, right, Pete?
That's usually the way it goes.
It's fair week.
It is what it is. But I tell you what, they have really worked hard setting up all the things they have at the fair. It's always a little bit different each year. I can tell you from firsthand experience, as well as some other staffers that's covered for a while, like Jeremiah. So much work behind the scenes. I know that's a thing that you always say, but it is so true.
It is. Oh my gosh. They work so hard. And the fairgrounds just every year look better and better and better.
They really do look good. And that's it. In a way, it's kind of frustrating, because if they don't look good, you know that, and you notice that. But if they look good, you take it for granted.
You're
don't
right.
take it for granted. Somebody is out there sweating.
Yes, they are.
Working to make those grounds look good. And
yep.
So many of those fair board members and the committee members, Extension 4-H, Livestock Committee, horse folks, it's just not show week at the fair. They put in a lot of work before the fair. And so
a ton.
It's coming up. Actually, it has started, and that's what we'll start with right here. Of course, Jennifer, last night was harness racing at the fair.
Bet on the ponies.
Our sports editor Todd Compson was there. That is one of the photos that he gave me, and that I think that will be in our Saturday print edition. But according to Todd, who has covered it a while, because he covers the sporting events and the action events and like that, he said it was a better than average crowd last night. I think that was
great.
And I think the number of horses that have been entered, like, you don't hear a whole bunch about harness racing around here. And frankly, there aren't a lot of local horses. But on the circuit, Chris Walls, who is the vice president of the fair board, others, I'm sure, working with him, have been able to attract pretty healthy fields here for our harness racing.
They have. They say that the quality of horses and all of that are just, sky high, and that's what gets the people there, to see that.
8 races last night, including, and we need to speak well of one of our own that we lost some time ago, Bob Willis, who helped the station for many years with the Bob Willis Sports Show, a real aficionado of the harness racing over there at the fair as well. And there was the Bob Willis Memorial Pace that was the final race on the card last night. And tonight, another night of harness racing. If you missed it, 11 races are scheduled. So that's big. All starts at 7:00. Admission is only $5. You can get a program that's got all the horses' names in like that for $3. A lot of information in there. And of course, not only is it a nice night out, we hope the weather will cooperate. Last night it did. The weather forecast wasn't the best, but it really didn't keep the crowd down that much. Or if
That's
it
great.
did, it was a better than average crowd, I was told. But a lot of people really get into the pari-mutuel waging. You don't have to drive to Soda Downs or whatever.
Nope.
Or you don't have to go online to bet somewhere in New York City or whatever on
That's
some
right.
racetrack.
You can bet on the ponies.
You can do it right here. Whatever approach you use on your betting, whether it's very scientific or you like a name,
Prettiest outfit.
or whatever, But people have.
Do you have a scientific method?
No, I do not. The only thing that I would look at two things. If I have information in front of me that I probably wouldn't go to the trouble to research, the records of the horses. If that's in front of me, I will go on that, but I will also go on a name.
Aha.
If they had one called Editor's Choice, for instance.
Love that.
I'm betting on it regardless. I mean, it may be an old nag, but I'm going to lay money on it. So, but anyway, once again, harness racing tonight, the second of two nights there at the Jackson County Fairgrounds in Wellston. And then, of course, Saturday, even though the full fair is not quite going yet, the ride's not until Monday and some other things, but it's such a big night, Saturday. It is total media day, for one thing.
There
so
you
we're
go.
really wrapped in it. We've tried to work hard in conjunction with the Fair Board to promote the event. But, of course, the big attraction is the show with the great Neil McCoy.
Yes.
So that was a great get for the Fair Board to get Neil McCoy. And, I know that tickets are still available. $30 for a Neil McCoy concert is not a bad price at all.
It is not.
And you're probably not going to get as close for that $30 as you would in some much larger venue.
You got it.
So, the track seating, that's what you get for the $30. And then, but you can get into the grandstand for only the price of admission, the $10, the
Nice.
$10 gate admission. Now, the seating in the grandstand is first come, first serve. So, you might want to get there early if you want to get, a prime position in the grandstand. The track seating, of course, will be in front of the grandstand.
That's right.
So 9 o'clock for Neil McCoy, but before that will be Simba Jordan.
Yes.
Simba Jordan will be the leadoff act. I believe that will be at 7 o'clock. I think there might be a little bit of a gap between the two to allow the late arriving crowd to come in, but. Gate admission all day is only $10, and that will actually get you into the grandstand to see the Neil McCoy show. But the premium seating only $30. So, want to make sure I have my times right. Simba Jordan is actually 7:30.
7:30.
So
okay.
I stand corrected on that, and then 9 o'clock for Neil McCoy.
Nice.
Before all that country music. There will be the opening fair ceremonies at 4 o'clock. And then the highlight of that will be the crowning of the 2023 Junior Fair Royalty. You've got Fair Queen Madeline Fannin. You've got first attendant Jasmine Clarkson, second attendant Rebecca Shaw. Those are the senior level girls. The grade level attendants who will be crowned will be grades 9 attendant Natalie Allison, grade 7-8 attendant Nevaeh Hightower, grade 5-6 attendant Abigail Cooper, grade 3-4 attendant Michaela Simpson. Little Miss Jackson County Fair is Adeline McMaster, and the Little Mister is Kane Collier. There will also be other announcements there, some acknowledgments and recognitions for the fair. Public officials from state, district, and local level will be there as well. You usually get some comments and announcements, maybe award presentations from some of the fair people too.
Sure.
Usually the Fair Board president speaks. Usually the 4-H agent speaks. And remember, this is a little bit interesting this year, Jennifer, at the fair. We have for the first time since 2005, I think, a Jackson County ag agent involved.
Yes, we do, and that's so good.
That of course is Justin Winters. And then we have a new 4-H agent. That's the short title. That's not actually right, but that's what we used to always call him, 4-H agent, Maddie Allman.
Yep.
And she's so excited about her first fair. She follows, I think, the longest standing 4-H agent in Jackson County history, in Erin Deal Daly, who now is doing the same thing in her native Gallia County, but remains a Jackson County resident. So, so that will be very exciting. Speaking of the fair, I want to turn your attention towards a story that we will have in our Saturday paper. I told Jeremiah Shaver, who has covered the fair for different papers for nearly 10 years or more, I told him that I wanted some kind of feature story in our Saturday paper. We had to run all the preview stuff ahead of time to be ahead of the schedule and all. So we have this gap. Our Saturday paper's coming out before Neil McCoy and the Queen and all like that. I said, we need something in the paper. They'll think we're not covering the fair. Well, he went out earlier this week and did a great deal of research. And it is basically an article explaining all these behind-the-scenes people who make the fair happen. Not only the Jackson County Fair Board, but all the committees, the Livestock Committee, the 4-H Advisory Committee, the Junior Fair Committee. The kids are involved in this too, the staff from the Extension Office. So some of the key volunteers that work. The fairgrounds have been humming the last several weeks. Even though the actual first event of the unofficial fair event was not until last Wednesday, and the harness racing, of course, last night. So take a look at that article. It drops a lot of names, but it's names that you should be aware of because they do so much. Jeremiah, that is a picture from our carcass show that was held on Wednesday. That is a new event. The Fair Board, the Livestock Committee, they're always looking at new events that they can add to get more kids involved and get more kids money and recognition and so forth. So the Jackson County Fair underway. That's Jamie Sexton, who is considered a lifetime member of the Livestock Committee. That's how valuable he is. Looks like a young guy, and he is, but he's been around a while. And he said and this is part of the story that Jeremiah wrote. Jamie, interesting story. His parents got him interested in the fair and agriculture early, so he got involved early. His kids have been very involved. They've come through the system as well. He keeps doing it now because he hopes that when he gets a little older and needs to retire and step back, that somebody else will come up and fill his shoes. And that's the process. That's what you hope. You hope that people see that someone needs to step up. Younger people need to step up, and they do. So this is, of course, the Joe Morgan Livestock Memorial Show Arena that will be the scene of a lot of the animal shows coming up this week at the fair. The fair will run through Saturday, July the 22nd. So a lot of activities there on the senior fair side and the junior fair side, a lot of action shows there. Of course, we got the live entertainment on Saturday night with Neil McCoy, some other live acts too, a comedy show this year. There's Jeremiah with the Fair Queen. He always does those selfies with the celebrities. So you can see they had a good time there. That is the royalty from last year.
Yes.
So with Ivy Gentry, Queen Jenna Lewis, and First Lieutenant Olivia Moore. All right, so there's going to, obviously, without saying it goes, that there'll be a lot of coverage from the Jackson County Fair here in the paper. The radio will be out there on the grounds reporting live each day of the fair, starting on Monday. I know we'll be there Saturday as well. Maybe Sunday, I'm not really sure about that, but I know from Monday on it will be a regular thing. The end of the week, the big events will be the livestock show in the Joe Morgan Livestock Arena, or the livestock sale, which will start at 3 o'clock on that Friday, July the 21st. And then, of course, on Saturday, the tried and true demolition derby. That always is a
You got your car ready?
No, I've got one that could probably qualify to be in it, but I'm gonna try to keep it going here for a little longer. All right, I want to cover a couple of other things really quickly here. We've got Red Thompson Jr. waiting in the wings. This man helps us a whole lot at the fair and will this week, and then even more so the next week when the Vinton County Junior Fair goes. But Red covers a lot of sports and public affairs for us, and I tell you what, it was no summer vacation this last week. A lot of hard news in Vinton County, some very important meetings and developments, which he'll tell you about here in just a minute. Just want to put that teaser out there to hang around for Red here in just a few minutes. But some other things that I do want to tell you about. Both Jackson County elections officials and Benton County elections officials are not only busy with the early voting for State Issue 1, that special election on August the 8th, but they are looking at signatures for proposed amendments that may be on the statewide ballot in November.
Okay.
One involves abortion rights.
Yep.
One involves recreational marijuana.
Yep.
If there are enough signatures valid across the state on these petitions, or enough of them are valid, I think there's enough signatures, if they prove to be valid, for this to go on the ballot, these two issues. What the Board of Elections has to do in both Jackson County and Benton County is look at those signatures. Are they really a registered voter? Is their registration current?
Correct.
Do they live where they say they do? All like that. So this is a lot of legwork that has to be done. In Jackson County, I know that they're looking at about 612 signatures that were turned in on the abortion rights amendment.
Okay.
So a lot of work to do there.
It's a lot of names to verify.
Right, exactly. And the early voting on Issue 1, it's already underway at both the Jackson County and Benton County Board of Elections. The hours on weekdays will be 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Then those are extended hours. And then starting July the 31st, as we get closer to the special election date, those hours will extend even further, and we'll, of course, keep that in front of you. Okay, one thing that we wanted to tell you about from Benton County, I'm going to let Red tell most of it, but I will tell this much. We have a story going in that he wrote, kind of a follow-up story. We announced earlier in the week that Jim Payne, the Benton County prosecutor, had been appointed by Governor. There is Jim Payne right there. He was appointed by Ohio Governor Mike DeWine to be the new Common Pleas Court judge in Benton County, replacing Jim Salyer, who stepped aside officially on June the 4th. James Payne, will take over on July the 31st. He had been, or is right now, the Benton County prosecutor. And so we have a follow-up story in Saturday's paper, or we'll have a story in Saturday's paper, not only reviewing this information and a little bit on his resume, but hearing what he has to say about his very important professional appointment.
Okay.
And, of course, this is also a cue that the Benton County Republican Party, Payne is a Republican, the Benton County Republican Party's executive committee will be meeting very soon to look at applicants for the prosecutor position, because that will become opening with Payne moving to the judgeship. All right. The Homegrown Happy Hour was held last night, the third edition.
Yep.
It was singer Corduroy Brown performing.
Yes.
There he is right there. Understand that it was another great show last night. Ben Davis Jr. was the host. Our own Rodney Tomlin, of course, the producer, the man behind the scenes that makes it all go, the heart and soul, the creator of the event, who puts so much into everything he does. But that's Corduroy Brown right there. Where they come up with the caliber of these entertainers to come here to Jackson to perform a live show is something. So hats off to Rodney and Ben and everybody who works to make that happen, and to the entertainers as well. Remember, the Homegrown Happy Hour is done live every Thursday, 7 p.m. at Rowdy's Smokehouse in Jackson. And it is on it is done live on two radio stations, WYRO here in Jackson and WXTQ in Athens. And next week on July the 20th, next Thursday, it'll be Cole Gannon performing. So we'll hear more about him a little bit later as well. Some other events coming up this weekend. The Jackson Area Chamber of Commerce is having what they call a Christmas in July event. It will be this Saturday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. It will be at Manpower Park. They will have a cruise in starting at 10. There'll be inflatables, live music, vendors, a split the pot drawing, a gun raffle, food vendors, and then a live auction at 3. The Anything on Wheels car show will offer plaques to the top three vehicles. And all proceeds from the event will go to benefit needy families at Christmas time. This is a new event the Jackson Area Chamber of Commerce is doing. Good event for the community, but sounds like that it will support a good cause.
Yep.
I think we had Butch Cooper on TV, didn't we, earlier this week?
Yes.
So I want to give you one last reminder about the Jackson County Crusade.
Yes.
They're hoping to get a really good turnout. They've got a big venue Alumni Stadium.
Yes, they do.
It's going to be 7 p.m. This Saturday. And Butch's nephew, Caden Donaldson, who is a college student, made that happen. It was in his heart to make this happen.
That's right.
So congratulations to him for thinking big. But the Linvilles, who are gospel singers, will perform. And Dr. Calvin Ray Evans, who is a professional evangelist.
That's right.
He will be the main speaker.
It's a big deal here in Jackson.
Right. And speaking of entertainment, going back to that, we want to tell you that there was a cruise-in last Sunday at the Marquee. They showed Grease there.
That's
and the
right.
Appalachia Old Car Club had some classic vehicles, 10 or 12 there, parked outside the Marquee downtown on Main Street. Quite a scene there. Right there in front, that is the 1940 Oldsmobile that Appalachian Old Car Club president John Smith has. We have him on TV every now and then, so we featured his classic vehicle there. And that club is already planning their Wheels of Steel car show, which will be done in conjunction with Pig Iron Day on Saturday, August the 5th. And we do want to confirm to you that Elvis still lives in Jackson County because Dwight Eisenhower had a concert. He is an Elvis tribute artist. There he is.
He did.
At the Marquee on Saturday, July the 1st. You know, you're thinking, oh my gosh, it's a holiday weekend.
Well, that's what I was like. I don't know if that's the best weekend to have that.
Or whatever. Well, he sold the place out.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that anybody else has done that, and I think he has done it 3 years in a row.
Numerous times, yes.
Right, and he will be back next year. I'm just telling you, it will be in early July. There may be a date, but I know it's in early July.
Nice.
And so 280 seats that he filled, and I don't know, they may have had some SROs as well. All right, Red Thompson Jr. has got some very important news out of Vinton County. He's going to tell you about it on TV. He writes about it more in depth in the Telegram. Some of it is already online. Most of it will be online later, and it will all be in Saturday's edition of the Telegram. And in spite of all this busy schedule that Red's been doing, he had time to see an Ohio State football Buckeye legend during the week who was in Jackson County. Many people may not have known, but Red will tell you about that as well.
Very cool. All right. Thanks, Pete.
All right.
Have a great weekend. Come on over, Red.
Well, good morning, Miss Jen.
Good morning. How are you?
Oh, doing good, and thanks for having us back.
Of course.
We always enjoy being in the Lou Davis studio.
Well, we're glad to have you here, Red.
Jen, we have some bad news.
Uh-oh.
Very bad news for a lot of people in Benton County. We like to have good news, but today is going to swing to the other side.
Oh, no.
The Benton County Home Health Care Agency is being closed down.
Oh, my.
On Tuesday, they had a special meeting of the health board, and they decided after 55 years, they were going to have to close the home health agency.
Wow. What does that mean, Red?
Well, they can't get nurses. There's Health Commissioner Sierra Fox, and she explained that they have been unable to get nurses, and nurses have to certify the staff every 2 weeks.
Sure.
And that is, if you're unfamiliar with home health, it's where an aide comes to the home of elderly people, disabled people, and there's the health board, and they painfully made this decision, and they can't operate without a nurse, and they're offering nurses $50 an hour, and they can't get anyone.
Aren't enough. Okay.
That's for contract nurses, and they can contract in Columbus for $100 an hour.
Oh my. Okay.
And they're not even competitive. At one time, they could get nurses because the public side offers retirement, and with the inflation rate today, people they need the money more than the retirement benefits.
Sure.
$14, $15 an hour is a lot of money.
Yeah.
Extra. So the board had to take the appropriate steps. The board members are Vicki Boyings, the president, Jim Waltz is the vice president, Dr. Becky Houston's the physician member, and Vicki Beckley and Julie Sussman. There they are. You can't see Vicki Beckley very well. She's back in the corner. But the board, they say the staff does an incredible job. They do. Everybody, they're happy with all aspects, but they just don't have the people to run it.
Wow, that is unfortunate.
And the clients will get a 30-day notice that after, I think, August 11th, they'll no longer receive services.
Wow.
So that's very sad. And Fox said that if it wasn't for the COVID funds that they received, it probably would have been ended earlier than this.
Yep.
Well, Jen, I hate to, we talk about tourism all the time in Vinton County, and we've got more, this time we got some bad news about tourism, or potentially bad news.
Okay.
You're familiar with the air show.
Yes.
It may be ending.
What?
Terry Stevens is the Vinton County pilot and booster president, and he came to the commissioners on Tuesday and said that because of lack of personnel, lack of staffing, and just basically just not enough people to run it.
Okay.
And if they don't get some help, that it is probably going to go away.
Wow. Okay.
And that's a little bit different event than just an event you might have in a park or something. There's FFA requirements that's got to be met.
Sure. It's a big deal.
It is. And, they've had 8,000 people there before. Have you ever been?
No, I have not. I've heard lots of stories.
Yeah, I mean, we went one time when there was 8,000 people.
Wow.
There, and I think they ran it with 5 people last year. And, they've got a huge concession stand. They've got, health department issues. They've always met those, and everything's always been great there. I don't mean it that way, but you got to have people.
You need bodies to put on an event of that caliber, for sure.
And Stevens is asking if there's organizations in the county that would be interested in cooking and serving food, and they got to police the area, make sure no one gets hurt.
Yeah.
You're talking about planes coming in and out.
Yeah.
And also, he also went on to say that the pilots and boosters around the airport, they may disband altogether.
Okay.
Mowing grass and taking care of the terminal and paying all the bills, and
oh my,
they just don't have enough people to do it.
Yeah.
So, and they don't. I think right now they're not even giving ground lessons or pilot lessons anymore, because Harry Sowers, the longtime instructor, is semi-retired.
Okay.
So it's very very sad situation. And if there's any groups that would want to help, the on-guard defense area, they may consider helping. Judy Phelps, the owner of that co-owner, said that they were going to hold a meeting about maybe trying to help. But because of the planning, that's the 3rd week in September, he's got to decide next week.
Gotcha. Oh my.
They've got the airport has to be closed with the FFA, and flight plans have to be filed, and there's a lot to that. That's more than holding an event in your backyard.
Yeah, for sure.
So we will see about that. And also on the negative side.
Geez, Red.
Dragging us down into the gutter. We went through this in Jackson County, and they're going through it in Benton County right now about polling place relocations.
Okay.
Benton County has went from 10 to 5. And one of the areas that's particularly affected is the Wilkesville area. There was a meeting of the Board of Elections on Tuesday morning, and several people from Wilkesville were there. There is Joe White. He's the Wilkesville fiscal officer, also a former county commissioner. And he pointed out Wilkesville pays a lot of the taxes in Benton County. Mm-hmm. There's a power plant.
Yep.
There's a steel aisle heavy metals plant, and that's where the coal mines were back in the day. And they're upset about losing the polling place. They have to drive 15 miles to Hampton to vote. That's a lot of elderly people in the community. It's going to be difficult for them.
Sure.
There is Larry Foley, and he told the board that 200 people asked him to come and speak. Wilkesville, it's a great little town, but they lost the school. They're losing the post office, apparently. So losing the voting location at the community building is upsetting to them. The Board of Elections did say that it is expensive. There is Melissa Hill, the second person there is holding the sheet. She's the Elections Board Director, and she explained that they're not taking away anyone's right to vote, but it's expensive to program the computers.
It's hard, and again, manpower. It's a thing.
And that's getting to be an issue. We got one more thing to get to, but I think this is important. I don't know. I saw some statistics. The U.S. birth rate is at a 60-year low.
Sure.
So there's just less and less people.
Yep.
People aren't having as many children, and that means there's not a young workforce.
That's right.
It makes it difficult. So we'll end up on a positive note.
Well, thank goodness, Red.
We love to come here and talk about the good side of Benton County tourism, and we have some stuff coming up. They're working on the Moonville Trail. We'll have some news about that coming up. But right now, we're going to go to Wellston High School, and we had a visit from Ohio State linebacker Tommy. Make sure I pronounce his name right. Eisenberg. And he was Ohio State's leading tackler, linebacker. And he there he is at C.H. Jones Field.
That is so cool.
And the reason I wanted to point this out to the viewers, he was not allowed to wear any Ohio State. That's why he's wearing a Wellston shirt. I guess on these visits, the players can't wear anything that is copyright infringement.
Okay.
So they can't wear any Ohio State. But the kids really enjoyed him. He signed footballs for him, had pictures taken with every kid. Right there is little Kason Napper. And
how good.
And he did this for the kids, signed footballs, gave them a football. And Jen, when I was a young boy, that's what color my hair was.
That's probably where you got the name, huh, Red?
Yeah. And the kids just enjoyed him. He's from Cleveland. He was going to go to Boston College. He ended up at Ohio State. He met head coach Chris Graham. We have a couple videos on the telegramnews.com. They've got good response.
Great.
And they're both about 2,000 views on each one.
That's awesome.
Glad to hear that. And Coach Graham thanked him for coming. And that was sponsored by Dr. Cohen in Chillicothe. And they thank them for their sponsorship. So we had some a big-time Buckeye in Jackson County, and the kids just loved
fun.
it.
Well, good.
So that's going to do it for me, but we hope to have some good news. Hopefully just put out another flag for the if there's any organizations that's interested in helping keep an air show afloat, get a hold of the commissioners, get a hold of Mr. Stevens, and Mr. Stevens works directly with the commissioner. So if you just call Kathy Mountjoy at the courthouse, she can get a message to him to see if we can help keep it afloat.
Love that. All right. Well, that's a lot of news for today. We want to thank our friends from Spark and the ADAMH Board, also Pete and Red and all the gang for stopping by today, and Dylan for pushing all the right buttons. Thank you. And it's going to be a busy weekend. Make sure you plan all of your fair activities out, and we'll be right back here on Monday. So have a great weekend, and we'll see you then. Bye-bye.